experience an obstacle or challenge, I'm going to move past it. I'm going to shatter that glass ceiling and I'm going to keep going.
It hurts to smash a glass ceiling.
Wow, we literally have to be superheroes to walk through this life.
While I might have been the first, I pray that I'm not the last.
Happy day, everyone. And I'm Joshua Everett Mayer, and this is Taking Her Lead. And I want to note something that I think is pretty cool. We are rounding up very closely on the end of our second year. And, as I hope you've gotten to experience, and I know many of you have commented on, we've had just an incredible list and incredible progression of guests. And it's been such a privilege and honor and fun and challenge in that some of these discussions really challenge me to look at my life and as an ally and just as a me. And so this is just awesome. Love doing this. And today we have Kirsty Birch, who is in UK, and she has an amazing story. Fits right in with our guests and the tone of our show. She has overcome a lot and is very driven, very kind, very thoughtful, very giving, and loves seeing other people succeed. She's an accountant. She is an exercise coach, but she is also a professional coach, particularly for accountants, but even more broadly than that. And in these roles, she really, really enjoys and thrives on seeing people succeed, and which makes her a great coach. So in just a second, I'm going to bring her on. But I do want to note that this recording, as all of our recordings, will be available on YouTube afterward and LinkedIn as well, since we're on LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live. And to be honest, I just can't remember if it stays on Facebook, but you'll be able to find it on YouTube no matter what. And you can share that. And we love it if you would share the episode. And obviously with YouTube, you just grab the link and text it to each other and your friends and send it via email and however you would like to do that. So without further ado, here we go with Kirsty Birch.
Hey, Joshua.
Hey, I hope that intro was okay.
It was fantastic.
Good. Good. Yeah. So how's your day going? You and I chit-chatted briefly, but I want everybody else to know too.
Yeah, very, very well. I'm moving up my property portfolio, so it's all good for me. And yeah, it's been a great day. So 2 good things today. I'm waiting for the third. Optimistic as I am.
Yes. Fabulous. Okay. Well, where do you live?
So I'm based in Surrey, London. I'm a South London girl. I come from London, so hence the voice. I am a typical Cockney. and yeah, so I love the UK. It's one of those things, and hopefully your American viewers will feel the same once they see me.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. And I in leadership, I've had hundreds of staff from the UK, so I can roll with the accent.
There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great. Well, my first question for you, just to start things off, and as I give me a heads up on, is simply what about what you currently do, and you're doing a lot of different things, moves your heart? How does it touch on your passion?
I am all about inspiring. I love to inspire others. I became an accountant, for me, realistically, because I was young. I had a child young, and I had to find an option that was going to give me a good income for the foreseeable future. Yeah. I went into accounting, not thinking much too of it, to be fair. It was something that I did. I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. My passion is more with the coaching side. I love it. I do my fitness coaching. I don't do that for financial gain. I do that to inspire others. I just want to give value. For me, it's if I can motivate others and get them out there feeling good about themselves and achieving, that's what I'm all about. And for my coaching that I've really gone into now, like the life coaching, the mindset coaching, this is relatively new to me. I'd say last sort of year. Mm-hmm. It's just a path I've decided to. I've wanted to do it for a long time, but now I'm at the stage where I can give something back because I'm in a good place, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really where I'm at with it. And I'm, if I can help other people, that to me, that's more than the financial gain that I get from it. So
yeah, absolutely. What do you like about accounting? Because you said you do, it's not your main thing, but you have done it,
I am
and you're pretty effective at it. Yeah. So
I like reconciling the last 1p. I'm a little bit like that. I've got lots of clients, mainly, to be fair, most of my clients are construction based. I'm used to working in the male dominated environments. Taken a long time to kind of get regular clients as I do, just because of, how can I put this without sounding wrong?
just sound how you're going to sound.
It's an environment, it's as simple as that. And you have to gain the trust. Now I feel like I'm respected more because of who I am. I'm good at my job. I have, I look after them, and it's taken a long time, but I'm 100% there now. I've got a lot of respect from a lot of my male colleagues, and I do a good job. So they can't, can they?
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back in time, and I would like to hear a bit about your childhood.
Okay.
Because that, and I always ask these questions, but it's just fascinating to me to find out what were situations and experiences you had that helped shape who you are today, things you had to overcome. And I know you've had some.
Yeah.
And just kind of dig into your childhood there. And of course, we'll go forward in time and come right up to who you are today. But I want to know about those early childhood experiences that really helped shape who you are.
Okay, so I shared my story on LinkedIn not so long ago, to be fair. I did this for a reason, because I want to create awareness.
Yeah.
If I need to be the different to make the difference, if I have to step up and share my story, I'm quite confident in doing that. I'm also at the stage where I can embrace it and appreciate it, as crazy as that might sound to some people. I'm grateful for the experiences I've had. If I hadn't have gone through these things, then I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be able to offer that value and helping others. So, we've all had adversity. When I was young, I had, I was up until about 10. I don't really remember too much hardness, if that makes sense. It was just my life. As from then on, I have been around environments where there was drugs and there was, lots of criminal activities and police and things. And it's scary times. When you as a kid, it's scary times. I don't let that impact me. I've never let that impact me. But from when I was very, very young, I have always been, I always want to do something better. I'm not living this life. And that's just the way I am. And I've always been the same. I've always believed in myself, Joshua, even after all the rubbish that we have to go through in life sometimes to get there. For me, it's not going to be long. I'll just crack on, and that's hopefully what I am going to be able to help my clients with. You go for adversity, you grow. And I'm a massive believer in that. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, look, as a kid, it's not the best environment to be in. Totally get that. Would I put my children through that? No. Do I blame any of my parents? No. It's just, that's their life. They go through that. I have a good relationship with my mum. It's my dad's exactly the same. But you can't tell somebody how to live their life, can you? And I'm massively, as I've grown older, that's something that, especially my dad, I don't really have the greatest relationship with him now. how can I put it? I don't not speak to him or anything. I just don't see him. It's just not part of, I choose not to have that part of my life impacted anymore. And also for my children now. Yeah. So I've just a massive learning curve for me. I just don't want to go down that same road. And to be fair, my siblings are the same as well. Like that, we don't really, that's their life if they choose to talk about it. For us, it's we all hard work, we all go to work, we all have good jobs, we all want to strive for something. And coming from a council estate and things like that, the opportunities wasn't there back then. You didn't have the opportunities. The only way to get opportunities is to create them, and that's exactly what I've done. Yeah.
Where does that drive come from? That you said, hey, I went through these things, but I had to paraphrase you had a sense of yourself, and you had a sense that you wanted to move forward. Not everybody has that.
100%.
Where did that come from? Do you have a concept of, or did just the way you're wired, or did you have experiences? Do you have input guides who helped foster that?
I had great grandparents, and my mum. I'm not saying that anything like it's. it's just people do the best they can in them times, that is what it is. But for my grandparents, they've been a solid rock to me, and they still are now. I've got a good relationship with my mum now. I don't have any hang-ups there, but for me it was
right.
I always I want more. I don't want to. I suppose when you don't have something, you want it more, don't you? It's as simple as that. When I was younger, I didn't have the white picket fence family. It wasn't about that. I didn't have that. I'm not saying that everybody does have that. That's probably not reality. But for me, it was, it was always that stability and I suppose safety and even just going on holidays and things. I didn't have that opportunity then. As I've got older, to be fair, I had a child when I was about 17. I was very, very young. And it was then, I'll be honest with you, that I think it kicked in and thought, I need to do something with my life now. I can either let this determine one way or the other. I can get out there and grab it with both hands and go out and achieve to succeed. That's what I want to do. Or do I let this just be what I'm about and do nothing? And I thought, no way, I'm not doing that. So that's it. I had a child and I went to evening college and I did what I had to do and I sacrificed and here I am today. But I don't regret any of that. I had to learn the hard way, and that's just the way it felt at the time. My choice felt like a harder way. But I'm a young mum now and I'm doing well. So I don't look back on anything with regret. I just think it's just a path that you choose. Now I'm older, I'm at an opportunity now where I can make the decisions a little bit more clearer, and I've got an advantage to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got kids who you can teach, guide, mentor, and as you mentioned, in ways that you didn't get.
100%.
So
I mean, I'm not saying I'm the greatest parent in regards to no one is. There's no rule book, but I try to lead by example. I hope my children can take from me that I work hard and, I'd do anything for anybody. Yeah. As long as I'm not taken advantage of, I'm really aware of that. But yeah, I tried to give them opportunities I didn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. How were your grandparents a rock for you? What were some of the interactions that you had with them that really inspired you or impacted you?
They're just always there. Even now, Joshua, I'll be fair to you. My nan and granddad are always there. I will be when the time ever comes for them to part, I will be absolutely devastated. They've been they're just there for me. For no matter what happens, they're always there. I can pick up the phone. They're there. You become reliant on that, don't you? But no matter what it was, if I needed safety or I went to live with them for a while, just because that was the situation that we was in at the time. And I lived them for a long time and I didn't want to go home. I love my nan and granddad. I'd wake up every morning and my nan would be making me breakfast in bed. I never had that. They're just like that, kind soul. So yeah. And it'd be my turn when they get older, and that's exactly what I'll be doing. So
yeah. Mom's side or dad's side?
It's my mum's side. Yeah, I don't know who my dad's parents are, to be fair. I've never recall. I think I met my dad's dad when I was a little child. I don't remember, but I've never met my dad's mum. Yeah, it's strange. I've just not had that side of I've only ever had one set of grandparents. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm not being critical. I'm just curious. And
no, it was always my mum's side. Yeah. So, I mean, it's, I've always had that support from that side.
Yeah, that's fabulous. What were some? So moving forward just a little bit. I'm going to skip past one of my questions. Just ask flat out, who were some of your mentors? Perhaps your grandparents, but who else really mentored you as when you were first in your career? In school, after school, right in that period where you were young. Obviously, you had a kid. Who was in that spot of mentoring you and guiding you and inspiring you and helping you move forward?
Truthfully, no one, Joshua. I'm not going to lie. Like this, when
Please
I was
don't.
younger,
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, when I was younger, it was more. I didn't have people like that around me. It just wasn't in my environment. That's just not what it was about. And it was always myself. Deep down, I just could always tell myself, I don't want this. I want to do more. I want to succeed. I don't want to. I've never wanted to claim benefits. I never wanted to rely on someone else. That's just not what I've done since I was 17. I've always just worked. I put myself in this situation. I've got to deal with this situation. And that's just my mindset. As I got to probably about early 20s, I then had a client who I used to do his accounts for, massively mentored me. totally. Like, there was a guy, he's 60s now, he's retired now. If I asked him, he'd help me. Anything, just encouragement-wise. I've always had my husband for support, don't get me wrong. And like I said, my mum and my grandparents, but Graham was a big role model to me. It was somebody who'd already achieved all these things. He'd already, and as a woman, gave me a lot of opportunities. You don't get that a lot. And, you know, he gave me a lot of opportunities within his business to grow, helped me if I needed to. If I needed finances, he would have helped me. I mean, I was very fortunate not to have to do that, but it was always there. No matter what it was, he would have supported me, which is fantastic. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that really is. What an ally.
Oh, 100. And he's living his best life now, retiring, flying his plane, doing as you do, you know.
That's awesome.
He still pops in and sees me. It's lovely. But yeah, this is his time now. So
yeah. Did he ever give you any input specifically when you were having a hard time? That think you're faced with challenges, maybe even considering that it's a male dominated field that you've been in. What kind of input did he give you?
To be fair, I don't really talk to anyone. When I shared my story on LinkedIn, that's the first time that I've ever really spoken about it to anybody. Apart from my husband, obviously my family, because they live it, you know. But I've never told anybody I've worked with. I've never told anyone, really friends. No one really knew, apart from like my school probably friends. You know, that was about it. I'm a very private person. I did that for me now, and I did this I want to make a difference. I want to have a voice. If I can have a voice and help others to have a voice, 100%, that's exactly why I'm doing it. It's not about my feelings. I'm a strong enough person where I can move on from that. It's if this can help somebody else step up, start taking a bit of ownership and realize that you can do anything you want to do. There's no obstacles in your way that stop you. Yeah. That's why I do it. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I want to coach. This is why I want to give people that experience.
Mm-hmm. That's fabulous. You have something that a lot of people don't. Well, I'm not going to say a lot of people. Some people don't have, which is a very healthy inner dialogue. Well, not even so much your dialogue, your monologue. You're talking to yourself in ways that support you moving forward. You know, instead of fatalism, being a victim, these things keep happening to me. Never going to change.
I can't do self-pity.
Yeah.
It don't get you nowhere, Joshua. It really doesn't, because how can I blame? I can blame so many people for things that have happened in my life. Far from that. The way I look at it, that happened then. This is now. Like, okay, that could have impacted me up to now. I chose not to let it. So now do I let it impact me for the future? Not at all. And affect my opportunities and aspirations? Not at all. You know, that, like I said to you, for adversity we grow. And if this has made me who I am, I was meant to go through this for a reason. So I can't have regrets in that. I can't blame nobody, because that happened then. This is now.
Yeah, I get it. I hear it. Talk to me about your perspective more. You're a thinker. You in some ways you look at the bigger picture, and that's why we want to have this bigger impact. Talk to me about your perspective on what women in general are facing. You know, and you don't have to have a lot of information. Just I want to hear what you think on. Within the context of Me Too, the second or third, depending on how you look at it, rise of feminism. Okay. To put it in a particular parlance. So comment on that. Comment on you maybe, and you don't have to talk about your specific experiences necessarily. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on those things?
I think the world is coming to a better place in that stance. I'll be fair to you, when I first started out in my industry about 20 years ago, when I first came into this construction industry, this very male-dominated area, you were not perceived in the same way, 100%. Like I was a woman in a man's world. Mm-hmm. I became a director in that man's world, because just because I'm a woman, that means nothing. I can work as hard, if not harder, and eventually I became their boss. So it doesn't, it's how you take it, isn't it? So for me, I worked in the plumbing and heating industry, very male dominated for a long, long time. 17 years I was there. Yeah. I became a director when I bought into this company in early 20s. I could see an opportunity there. I worked there, bought into it. I did that for a while. When I left, I'll be fair to you, I totally believe this. There was a lot of the guys were generally wow, she's leaving. You know, they were gutted over it, because either way, I was somebody they could talk to. I was somebody they could listen to. This is what the women can give the workforce, is that different approach to things.
Yeah.
Where I work now, lots of male-dominated industries. Do they respect me? Yes, taking a long time, and I have to be heard. But even still, I'm still a leader in that department. So if you've got something about you, to me, it's whether you're a woman or a man, if you step up and grasp it and take them, you know, things that you're given, you can do anything. But in regards to women moving forward, yes, there is a difference in the gender pay still. There is, I still get that. But I just do my own work now. I'm my own boss. I run my own accountancy work. So
yeah, a little different.
I choose who pays me. They pay me now. So it's not like, you know, I take it as that. If I can't work for somebody and earn the money, I'll go and work for myself and earn the money.
I love it. That's a shift. That's nimble. You know, you're able to value. You know, you have a great confidence and value in yourself and who you are, and you know who you are. You know what you're capable of. I like that you've been able to shift into, you know, private consulting, working for yourself. A lot of flexibility there. And
well, family, you have to. This is why I had to do it, because you've got a family. It's very tough with if the kids are off sick, or, you know, I am a mum, so I have to work around my children, and I have to work with my children, shall I say. So
yeah.
From when I have my last two children that I had, within a few weeks, I was back at work, taking them into work with me.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't have my 6 weeks off. It's just, when I run my own business, there's no one else doing my work for me, so I have to go back.
Yeah.
Did I miss out? Maybe a little bit, but I enjoy the buzz of working. So I can adapt. Just because I've had a child makes no difference to me. It doesn't take my eye off the game at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. You got 3 girls.
3 girls. Yeah. Yeah. 3
That's
challenges.
Fabulous. Yeah. Joys and challenges, the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Yeah, definitely. You know, not ratting them out, but tell me a little bit about their personalities, you know?
Do you know what? Now I've been really honing in on my coaching. I can kind of appreciate it a little bit different with the personalities. But my eldest is 20, and yeah, she went through the teenage rebel ages, as they do. And I used to think of it as a burden more now, in regards to, it's just a headache, you know, the stuff they go through as teenager. But now I look at it and think, well, myself and her dad, we haven't done too bad, because either way, she's very opinionated. She's very strong. She has that personality which will still fend her off from people. So I think, well, it might be hard work for me, but it's a good trait for her to have, because it's made her a strong, independent woman. Yeah. My middle daughter, she plays football. She's played for a professional team. She's only 14. And yeah, I mean, and she's playing again in a very male-dominated environment. Yet she's a woman. She's played for Premiership teams. She's doing fantastic, you know. So when I look at that now, I think we must be still doing something all right. And the youngest just likes ballet and gymnastics. She's the typical girl. So, but she's very confident. And I always try and instill in them that if you ask my youngest now, what's the first thing I say to her is, you have to love yourself. And I tell her this all the time. All the time. Before you love anybody else, you have to love yourself. Oh,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Loves herself too much now, but there we go.
Amen. You know, and then, I mean, my hope for my boys is that they'll go further than I go. And I imagine you have the same desire.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And my eldest will say, is that okay? I mean, do you feel okay if I move forward than you? And I'm like, that's my heart. That's what I want to happen for you. That's parenting. But just like you said, you know, when my boys were younger and they're intense. I mean, we always said we have our firstborn, and our second child is also a firstborn, and our third child is also a firstborn.
And he's still learning, isn't it? He's still learning experiences.
Still learning. Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier, and it doesn't get any. How can I put it? Every experience is different. 100%. It's exactly that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That. Yeah. Talk to me about what kind of impact you want to have as a coach, as a business coach, because it's you're coaching people beyond just accounting, beyond the industry that you've been in, you know,
This is
what's
taken me a while. If
yeah,
I'm honest, Joshua, it's taken me
Yeah.
a while to really decide who I want to coach, how I want to coach. I know I want to give value, and I know I want to create an impact here. For me, is massive on the mindset. You need to be in the right frame of mind to approach anything. Before you even start entertaining a business, before you even start wanting to grow, you've got to concentrate on yourself, and you've got to build that in yourself. So the mindset is massive. For women's side, I want to help as many women as I can get out there and create a business. I'm not adverse to work with men, far from that, you know, but for me, I just want to tell women that you can do anything you want. Because you're a mum, so what? Because you've had adversity, so what? You know, you can do anything. If you believe in yourself and you've got that drive and that passion, take every challenge and run with it. You know, and this is what I want to do with my coaches. I am passionate about this. This is something that every day, like I'm no joke, I will be up at 5 a.m. I will be reading about coaching. I will be seeing how I can develop, how I can work with others, what areas I can get into. Like I said, what value I can give. I want to be the best coach that I can for all my clients, because they have to take accountability for their own actions. I just have to be there to work with them along the way. I'm big on accountability. Like I said to you, I'm not one for self-pity. I'm very raw. I'm very honest. I will help you if you want to help yourself. And that's it. And working with the accountants, I know this field. I've worked in it for nearly 20 years.
Yep.
I know this stuff. It's second nature. The mindset coaching stuff has been a bit of a challenge for me in regards to it's new, which I love, because I love learning new things anyway. But this is more approaching it in the right way. Now I can put the two together. Those, you know, so that's it. I'm more about people that want to grow a business. You want to become an accountant, you want to grow a business, I will help you all the way through.
Yeah. So it's the impact. Well, because it's huge, your mindset. If you want to, I mean, whatever you want to do. But so you are specifically looking at helping them grow and improve their mindset in order to impact their business and where they're
I want them to have the confidence to get out there and not have the fear. You know, if you sit on fear all the time, you're never going to change the situation you're in. You've got to step out of that comfort zone, embrace it. And what's the worst that can happen? You just go and get another job if it don't work out. You know, let's be realistic about it. There's nothing really too bad that's going to have. You can change anything. You've just got to believe in yourself and just take the risk. That's what I've done now, you know, and I've never felt better for it.
Yeah.
I don't intend to be even doing what I'm doing in 6 months' time. I want to be fully on the coaching side, come away a little bit more from the accounting. I enjoy doing it, but for me, it's more, I feel like I can give more value as a coach in that field rather than I enjoy more the business and the mindset side of it.
Yeah. And I imagine part of the transition, you talked about it being challenging, is that you have the mindset. You live the mindset. It's different to teach the mindset.
Oh, 100%. Right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Especially. What's that? Say again?
But I'm up for it.
Yeah, obviously. You are.
You're right. It's a totally different concept, isn't it? It's not just knowing what you know. It's stepping out of, and I've had to step out of my comfort zone to embrace it 100%, you know. But I've never felt more in line with myself as what I have the last year.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. That's fabulous. Yeah, getting into that groove. Having had the time and experience to understand who you are, how you're wired, and what you can bring. That inspires a lot of confidence. And I mean, you know, part of the intention of this show, as I've commented on, is, and this is right in line with what you're talking about, is inspiring women to move beyond, move forward, get into where they want to be, which, you know, we can't change everything, right? I mean, you've experienced, you're going to go through hardship. You're going to deal with male dominated industry, whether that is with men who have goodwill. It's still male dominated. There's a perspective there. And I like that you talked about how the perspective, the philosophy, the impact that women can have is different. And you commented on listening. And what I've heard from a lot of our guests is that one aspect that women can bring that men don't generally bring, some do, is that nurturing approach. You know, how can I empower my staff, the people who are around me, bring them up, move them forward? That's a big deal. And now that's what you're doing again. You know, you're empowering. You want to bring them other people forward. It's the same thing. I think there's an operating philosophy among, again, not all, but many men, that it's the aggression, not physical aggression, not necessarily verbal aggression, but the drive and the aggression to move forward and overcome and remove the obstacles. And that aggressive stance is not as nimble. It's not as adaptive. It's not malleable, and it's not responding and helping the people around. It's no matter what, I'm going to drive for my goals, and I don't care who it impacts and how it impacts. And I've had a number of our guests very insightfully, and this just challenged me, say it's a system thing. It's a culture thing. We don't have lots of bad actors among men. We have this culture that supports moving forward that way. And we have men who don't necessarily have a choice, you know, in acting that way and moving forward that way, because the culture is so robust and doesn't allow for a lot of shifting. And so I'm so grateful that you had Graham, because I'm seeing that he's an ally. He's not like that, right? And so it's not that the aggressive stance isn't a tool, you know, applicable in certain situations, but I like that you're bringing the nurturing, the inspiring, the collaboration, because that's another tool. That's an aspect that has to be there too.
Yeah,
you know, you have to have a toolbox, and I see that you're doing that, and that's just absolutely fabulous.
You should probably tell that to my husband. He'll probably think, oh, don't tell her that. I'm definitely the alpha male, and I tell you, my husband is definitely the alpha male, and I'm definitely the female alpha male, shall I say? I am. It's we're both very strong-minded people.
You know, and that's
somebody like that to be able to keep me within my zone, you know. So
we do, you know, sometimes, and that's a help. You know, it's not so much somebody controlling you. It is a help for who you are, right? It's a support for who you are. Some of us need a lot of encouragement, and you can bring that. Some of us need the guide. You can bring that. That's where you're going. Some of us need a little bit of the pushback, which I think is partly what you're talking about with regard to your husband. You know, he can give you some feedback, gives me
boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get it. That makes perfect sense. You know, this is one of my final questions, and we don't have to end there, because I hope that it sparks some more discussion. But I know you've got a crazy day too, and I want to be respectful of your time. Is what is your great hope for women in general? What do you want to see happen for in general around the world, women in different industries? What's your great hope?
I just want women to have equal rights, 100%. Like, you know, everybody deserves an opportunity, whether it's you're female or male. If you can do the same job if a female can do the same job as a male, then what's the difference? I don't get it. Pay wise, you know, equal rights wise, anything like that. If I can do the same job as my colleague who's a male, and I can assure you, and I'm not being egotistic, I could do it better. So it's just a different in the mindset. If that person is doing the same thing, give them the opportunity. Don't restrict them. Don't put any cap on anything. I just want women to have them same opportunities, which I definitely think it's getting better. It is slowly getting better, because there is a lot more worldwide knowledge on this now. Most women are rallying towards this now, aren't they? They want that same thing. And I've noticed a lot of people I've seen a few podcasts on LinkedIn, to be fair, where it's giving women the opportunities, even if they're mums. It's giving women the opportunities if they have to take a bit of time out because of menopause. You know, there's so many. Work with a woman, you will get a lot more from her. 100%. It's, you know, give her that flexibility. Most mums have to stay at home. They have children, they have to stay at home, don't they? That's kind of the normal process of working wise. The man goes to work, the woman stays at home, looks after the children. I am a believer, and I can prove that you can do both. My husband probably finds me, I suppose, a little bit more intimidating in regards to achievement wise, because nothing stops me, Joshua. I will get out. If I want to go for it, I'll go for it. Whether it's a little bit, he feels a bit, it is that intimidating because of the way I am. I'm very out there. I want to go and achieve it. I want to go and do these things. And I suppose a lot of men can feel inferior with that, if that makes sense. If the woman earns a little bit more or the woman does more, that's not what I'm about. I don't do anything for that reason. I do this for myself. If I want to go and achieve and I want to succeed and I want to earn a good income for myself, that's me doing that for me, not to make anybody else feel uncomfortable or, you know, that's just not what I'm about. For me, it's for me. I want to get out there to prove a point. And like I said, create that awareness, showing women that you can do anything you want to do. There's no restrictions there. It's, if you want it, go and get it. Yeah. I watched something the other day on Instagram, and it was a Cardi B, the singer. And she said on here, which, you know, Cardi B's hard work to listen to anyway sometimes, because she's probably like me, full on. But she did say that she was pulling in bigger crowds than some of the men rappers. And when she realised that they were on a lot more money than her, she stopped and said, I'm not doing any more shows. Yeah. And they said, how are you going to change it? Until you pay me more. And that's what she done. So she has more money than a lot of the men rappers now, because she brings in the bigger crowds, and she knew her worth. She knew her worth. Yeah, 100%. That was it. She stopped, and she stopped until now I want more money. And she said it wasn't even about that, first of all. It was the fact that she was doing more work and not getting recognised for it. Yeah. And that's what she's changed, and that's what she did. So it's having that confidence, that belief in yourself, isn't it?
It's a dignity. It's a valuing. It's a... I would say it's not even so much as a self-confidence is a component of it, but I would say it's even more than self-confidence. It's self-awareness
and respect for yourself.
And respect for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You respect yourself.
This is what I deserve. And it's not pride. It's honest. It's you know, humility is understanding who you are and not saying you're more than who you are. Not saying you're less than who you are. It's dead in the middle. It sounds like what she...
Yeah, knowing your self-worth. And she knew she was worthy of what... She wasn't worthy of what she was getting paid. She was worth more.
Right.
And that's what she did. She stopped it. And then it soon realised when your income stops, you have to change things, don't you? And that's what they did.
That's fabulous.
So maybe we should get Cardi B on the women empowerment, because she definitely did it.
Let's talk about that. That sounds fabulous. Yeah. One last little tidbit. I mean, you've got a lot going on. What do you do to care for yourself?
This is something that I've been really big on now. I read a lot now. Yeah. And I'll be fair to you, I stopped reading as much. I've read so much where I've had to study for so many exams over the years. I think I got bored of it just because it became mature. Whereas now I'm reading more it is personal development for me now. I read a lot of self-help books. I'm really into Mel Robbins. I'm like big on Mel Robbins, because obviously it is the self-love, taking care of yourself, giving yourself the appreciation you need and the praise, you know. Yeah. But I'm also all about, I'm just trying to learn to just, with my own brain, understand a lot more things. And with the coaching, it is all about listening and communicating in the right way, and that's what I'm really trying to work on. But yeah, so I get in the bath each night, I sit in there for an hour or so, and I sit there with a book, whether it's learning about sales, whether it's learning about self-help, whether it's learning about personal development, and I just try and learn something new every single day. I'm 37, I know full well that my brain will disappear unless I use it. So that's what I do. Yeah. So I'm busy every day.
Right there.
Yeah, spending time with family massively. I won't work weekends now. Yeah. That's one big thing. I've learned from that over the years. I've worked a lot, and now my family will suffer. I have to take the time. So that's what I do on weekends. I don't work weekends, and I won't answer my phone to work people on weekends. It's just not happening no more. It's just taking the time of being aware, isn't it?
Yeah. You have, and sometimes you have to experience the negative impact of what you're doing to become aware of what you need to do and how you need to change, because sometimes maybe this is more commenting about me. You said, you have to learn the hard way. Sometimes you have to learn. That's the only way to learn, seeing the fallout and knowing where you want to go. Because you said, I don't want this. I know I want better. I know where I want to go.
Totally.
That's a big deal. Yeah,
no, definitely. Because I think you also, I don't know, you tell yourself that a lot. I still tell myself that now. And you know what? One thing with myself is I probably should relax a lot more. I'm always on the go, always doing something. And I think that is myself in regards to, I've always got to strive. I've always got to do something. And that's just my mentality since I was very young.
Yeah.
Maybe as I grow, that may start to settle down more because I'm becoming more, I'm not happy with myself. I've always been happy with myself. I think it's just more content with my life now. I don't overthink things too much anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe that will start to halt itself as I grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I think that's what it is. Like I said, no regrets. So either way, I'm learning something.
Yeah, moving forward. Kirsty, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you very much. My first podcast, so I'm privileged you asked me.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is a privilege for me.
And no one's got to hear me speak. I'm sure they're all going to half turn off now. Think, oh God, she's from South London. I can hear her.
No, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's great.
Fantastic. Yeah. No, it's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you've got kids, you've got work, you've got things going on, and you got a property. So
yeah,
be respectful of your time, and congratulations on landing the property and getting that moving forward. And we'll be in touch. And I appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much. You have a good day. You take care. Thank you.
You do the same.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.